हरे कृष्ण। ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion. So very like on Shivratri, yesterday actually Shivratri for ISKCON devotees according to our calendar. So my mother said that you should eat uh, sweet potato on this day. It is compulsory. So uh, I was, anyway, our devotee, he made it. And then I wanted to know why it is so important to eat sweet potato on this day. So then I asked another devotee who does fasting for Shivaratri. Then he told that if you eat sweet potato, you will not feel hungry because they do fasting. So they take little sweet potato and whole day they stay awake, whole night they stay awake. That's the reason they take sweet potato. But now what happened is my mother, she told that it is very important to eat. I thought, what is this special ritual on Shivratri you should eat? So this is how it happens. Like you start some things and then it becomes a ritual. Maybe it's a ritual to do it. So we should be very careful. We should put so much effort to understand the philosophy, purpose behind everything, reason. Unconsciously, we should not do things. We should be conscious about everything. Why I should do this? Any activity, we should be conscious about. That's to be conscious. We should know the philosophy behind it very carefully. Why only one?
Share the experience. But suppose if devotee
So here, this is the important thing to understand, that we should be conscious about every activity. Why we should turn the beats when we are chanting? We chant 108, then we have to turn the mala and chant. Why there is Krishna bead? Why there is no 108 only? Why only on this finger? So everything should be consciously, everything should be known properly. Then only we'll be able to put consciousness. Otherwise, it's just why. Why means no reason. And you are asking some questions means then you are trying to be too intelligent. No, it's not too intelligent. It want to do it to be conscious. We want to do it. Prayers also we want to be conscious so that we can apply them and understand them more deeply. So here, this is a very important aspect in Krishna consciousness, to be conscious. Say 108, this is very important. Akshamala. You see here, Lord Shiva is also chanting on Akshamala. He's going to chant on it. Everybody is chanting. Why this is Akshamala? Japmala is also called Akshamala because the alphabet starts with A and almost in the end is Ksha in Devanagari. So Aksha is what is this creation made of? Means all the creation is within the words only. Like you have to describe means you will describe in words. So you start from the beginning and end. So everything is within these words. Aksha. That's why it is Aksha from the beginning to end. And this whole creation is considered Aksha. And Akshamala is what Guru gives. He says that take this mala and try to find the Supreme Lord, absolute truth within this creation. So that is why he gives this Akshamala. He's giving, he says, now find out the Supreme Lord. Take this mala, chant, meditate, and try to understand the Supreme Lord. That's why the mala is given. Like that. So then when we turn the mala after we complete 108, is also having a very significant reason, is because we don't want to continue to, because I told you this samsara is called aksha. We don't want to continue in the cycle of samsara. So we have to cut the cycle of samsara. That's why we turn the mala. If you are continuing chanting without turning the mala, it is you will continue to be in this cycle of birth and death, rotating in this universe, in this samsara. That's why we have to turn the mala for chanting like that. So there are many things for the finger, for the beads and all. So the point is conscious effort should be made. We cannot be unconscious any time. More we advance means more we are conscious. At every small thing we should be conscious. So I just tried because my mother told this, and that's why I wanted to share this point. So we'll see how what Lord Shiva is doing. He was seated on a straw mattress and speaking to all present, including the great sage Narada, to whom he specifically spoke about absolute truth. And now we may know, Arey, already Narada is a devotee, he is Paramahansa Bhagavata, Shiva is there. Why they are again speaking? So that is now at our level, speaking is important to understand things properly, to make free from all our anarthas, and to make advancement. When at their level, when they are speaking, not that they have to free from anarthas or no, they are actually experiencing spiritual bliss. So just Tushyanticha Ramanticha. So when they are speaking to each other, they are increasing their bliss. They may not be speaking, very simple topic of science of self-realization topic. They'll be speaking very exalted topics, but that gives them unlimited pleasure. That is what is spiritual world. Spiritual world, gopis are always talking about what Krishna did yesterday. Gopas are talking about what Krishna did in the forest. Mother Yashoda is talking, and all the gopis, gopas, everybody is talking about Krishna only in spiritual world. In Vaikuntha, everybody talks about Narayana. And here, great sages and personalities like Lord Shiva, Narada, they also always talk about Krishna. So, at their level, it is not practice. At their level, it is the sadhya. That is a perfection what they have attained. And now, what is that? Array, you are just because that is what we are. We living entities, our dharma is to always be with Krishna, and we'll be most happy in that form. By taking that shelter, by feeling that presence of Lord, we are most happy all the time. If our class extends, we may not be able to feel that much taste and relish. So here the Lord was sitting on a mattress of straw because such a sitting place is accepted by persons who are practicing austerity to gain understanding of absolute truth. So we should sit on mattresses. And we are sitting on a couch and doing our chanting, or on our soft bed, then we may not be able to concentrate. So it is better to sit on mattress and or any other simple thing which is hard surface little. So it helps us to, we can put some cloth, but it should be a little harder so that it helps in concentration. Everything has a science. I told you, it's a conscious endeavor. Why mattresses, why it should be in this direction, why kusha grass. So it has a purpose, it's a science. So if you follow the rules, you get the results very fast. We do consciously. So in this verse, it is specifically mentioned that he was speaking to the great sage Narada, a celebrated devotee. Narada was asking Lord Shiva about devotional service, and Shiva, being the topmost Vaishnava, was instructing him. In other words, Lord Shiva and Narada are discussing the knowledge of the Vedas, but it is to be understood that the subject matter was devotional service. Another point in this connection is that Lord Shiva is the supreme instructor and great sage Narada is the supreme audience. Therefore, the subject matter of Vedic knowledge is bhakti or devotional service. So, we will definitely know what they will be discussing. Like if two business people are there, they are talking. So then what is the discussion? Obviously, it will be mostly this business. So that's how we understand. Politicians, they meet, they'll be talking all politics. So here two great personalities, devotees meet, they talk about Krishna. And then said his left leg was placed on the right hand, and his right hand was placed on his left thigh. This sitting posture is called Virasana. In his right hand, he held Rudraksha bead, and his fingers was in the mode of argument. And say here, if we see Akshamala is written. Rudraksha is also called here proper translated as Rudraksha because Shiva holds Rudraksha. But any mala which we chant is also called Akshamala. Our Japmala is also called Akshamala. For us it is Tulsi, but for Shiva it is Rudraksha. Why we are to Rudraksha is for fulfilling material desires. Of course, Lord Shiva is showing so that his followers will take Rudraksha. Whereas Vaishnavas, when we chant with Tulsi, it is for we are connecting, always touching a pure devotee, Tulsi Maharani. We want to change our heart, develop devotion for Krishna. When we chant for Spatika, crystal beads, it is for good health. Lotus beads is also for good health. So beads also have special influence on our mind. For what purpose you want to chant, you can take that and you can chant with that and you get the benefit. But we want to get out of this material world, no material benefit. The main benefit is we can do for ourselves is to change our heart, and that happens when we chant with Tulsi. So here, Lord Shiva is chanting with the Rudraksha. Like Papa says that the sitting posture described herein is called Virasana. According to the system of Ashtanga Yoga performance, in the performance of yoga, there are eight divisions such as Yama and Niyama, controlling, following the rules and regulations, then practicing the sitting postures, etc. Besides Virasana, there are other sitting postures such as Padmasana, Siddhasana, Sukhasana, like that. Practice of these asanas without elevating oneself to the position of realizing the Supreme Soul, Vishnu, is not the perfectional stage of yoga. And what happens now, the sitting posture also has an effect on our mind. That's why the sitting postures are described. Which asana you are sitting? If we are sitting for chanting, it is good that our spinal cord is straight. Either we sit in Sukhasana, somebody can sit Padmasana also. And this asana will help us to, and the spinal cord should be straight and neck should be straight. Then it directly affects our mind. That is the reason we should sit. Prabhupada in the famous chanting lecture, he says, sit properly. Chanting, japa recording will be there. You can hear this. Sit properly, Prabhupada says. Why? Because a straight spinal cord directly affects our consciousness and mind. It helps us to focus. It, there are looks external, but it has a direct effect. If you are sitting very, very comfortably in some couch and or in a very relaxed chair and all, it will be difficult. Even if we have to sit in chair also, it should be very straight and it should be very hard surface so that it affects our chant. So it's a conscious endeavor. And see, even Lord Shiva is also why it has to be mentioned which asana is sitting, what mala is taking, and all these things, why they are mentioned, because to help us also understand. See, even Lord Shiva is also sitting in this posture. He is not just relaxed. Only one person can relax and still do meditation and yoga, is that is Mahavishnu. He just lying in his bed of snakes and he is just meditating. He is in yoga nidra. Only it is possible for him. No other personality it is possible. Even if you see the posture of Brahma, Shiva, anybody, they are also sitting in proper straight postures and meditating. Practice of these asanas without elevating oneself to the position of realizing super soul is not the perfectional stage of yoga. Lord Shiva is called Yogeshwara, the master of all yogis, and Krishna is called Yogeshwara. Yogeshwara indicate that no one can surpass the Yogeshwara and Yogeshwara. Okay. Yogeshwara indicates that one can surpass the yoga practice of Lord Shiva. Yogeshwara indicates that no one can surpass the yogic perfection of Krishna. Another significant word is Tarka Mudra. This indicates that the fingers are open and the second finger is raised along with the arm to impress the audience with the subject matter. This is actually a symbolic representation. So Tarka Mudra, there is different mudra, Dhenu Mudra, this mudra, and then there is Yoga Mudra. Yoga Mudra is where the index finger is pressed with the thumb. Thumb and index are pressed, and other three fingers are open. So the first and second finger are touching each other and open. So the thumb indicates the Supreme Lord, and the index finger indicates our false ego. And when we press each other, then it reduces. We are trying to give surrendering our false ego to the Supreme Lord. That's why when we are chanting, we can keep our left hand in Yoga Mudra. It helps. We are trying to give up our ego, which is actually the cause of our entanglement in this material world and cause of not able to take shelter of Supreme Lord and surrender to Him. So when you are putting this mudra like this, our ego is reducing. So this is advantage. That is the reason we should not chant with this index finger, which is indication of our ahankara. If we chant, if we want to destroy our enemies, then we can chant with index finger. It will destroy enemies, which is not recommended. So we keep it away. And the middle finger and the thumb, we chant with that because the middle finger is affecting our consciousness. If you press at the middle finger, it's connected to the heart. And then the ring finger is for fulfilling material desires, if you chant with that. And the little finger is for health. So every finger has a purpose. When we are pressing there, it has an effect on ourselves. That's why we have to chant with this finger. So this is also another thing we need to know. This is symbolic representations. And here everything is having purpose. The sitting posture has purpose, mala has purpose, his mudra has purpose, fingers. So everything. Tam Brahma Nirvana Samadhi Namastitam Ashritam Vyupasritam Girisham Yoga Kaksham Salokapala Munayo Munina Adhyam Manam Pranjalaya Pranemo. All the sages and demigods, headed by Indra, offered their respectful obeisances unto Lord Shiva with folded hands. Lord Shiva was dressed in saffron garments and absorbed in trance, thus appearing to be the foremost of all sages. Now, just now, Shiva's wife died, Sati, and Shiva is instructing Narada in devotional service. He is not sitting morose, unhappy, and he's not writing, composing some poems in separation or no, he's not shying or weeping. All these things are not happening with Shiva. He's already fully composed. And he's now also giving Bhagavatam class. So that is greatness of Lord Shiva. And all these personalities, they come of obeisances. In this verse, the word Brahmananda is significant. This Brahmananda or Brahma Nirvana is explained by Prahlad Maharaj. When one is completely absorbed in Adokshaja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond the sense perception of materialistic persons, one is situated in Brahmananda. It is impossible to conceive of the existence, name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is transcendentally situated beyond the conception of materialistic persons. Because materialists cannot imagine or conceive of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they may think that God is dead, but factually he is always existing in Satchidananda Vigraha, his eternal form. Constant meditation, concentration on the form of Lord is called Samadhi, ecstasy or trance. So Samadhi means particularly concentrated attention. So one who has achieved the qualification of always meditating on the personality of God, it is to be understood to be always in trance and enjoying Brahma Nirvana or Brahmananda. Lord Shiva exhibited those symptoms and therefore it is stated that he was absorbed in Brahmananda. So it's a very important verse, important point. See, any absorption gives a tremendous pleasure. So that's the reason when people they take all these narcotic drugs and all, what happens now? The mind goes in a state of absorption. So they experience a certain type of bliss. So that's the reason they want to take it again and again. So the mind goes in a state when you and that's a type of pleasure you experience when you are in a very concentrated state. Of course, they do it in a wrong way. They are hacking the dopamine and doing. But in normally also, concentration gives pleasure. And that now we may think, Arey, this yogi is sitting, closing his eyes for 1 week, he's closing his eyes and sitting there. What is he getting? That is what the pleasure is. When you concentrate on a particular object for a intensely and for a long time, you are going to experience such a great amount of bliss. This is Brahmananda, Brahma Nirvana. And even the scientists also, they also are in a great amount of samadhi only. Of course, it's on a material level, but they get access to the higher truths of the material nature because of that samadhi. That's why they could find out this values of E is equal to mc square or the speed of light and all. This is not possible by any experiment. How can you know E is equal to mc square? It is just a revelation. How does this revelation come? Because they got access. So in the state of samadhi, the yogi, the rishis and munis, they get access to the mantras. That is how they write all these Vedic mantras are revelations of the great sages. Like if a Shvetaswara Upanishad we call. Why it is Shvetaswara Upanishad? Because it is written by Shvetaswara Muni. He actually compiled. Why he? How could he do it? Because he meditated on it. He meditated, he got access for all this mantras. So he went into trance. These are revealed to him. So even for scientists also very great. Uh, it also reveals to them. They enter into some state of samadhi only. Of course, it is all material in one level. It is not spiritual. But the point what I want to tell is it is where the pleasure is there in samadhi. And the absorption at one point, why people are taking this narcotic drugs, because they want to experience that pleasure again and again. Instead of sitting and meditating, they are taking dopamine and hitting, they are hacking the dopamine and experiencing. So that's the point. Another word is yoga kaksham. Yoga kaksha is a sitting posture in which a right left thigh is fixed under under one's tightly knotted saffron colored garments. And the words Muninam Dhyayam are significant here because they mean a philosopher or one who is thoughtful and can think very nicely. Such a man is called Muni. He is very thoughtful. He is just contemplating on understanding the truth. He is not just wasting his time. Lord Shiva is described in this verse as the chief of all thinkers. Lord Shiva, of course, does not engage in useless mental speculation. But as stated in the previous verse, he is always thoughtful regarding how to deliver the demons from their fallen condition life. It is said that during the advent of Lord Chaitanya, Sadashiva appeared as Advaita Prabhu. And Advaita Prabhu's chief concern was to elevate the fallen conditioned souls to the platform of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Since people were engaged in useless occupations which would continue their mental existence, Lord Shiva, in the form of Advaita, appealed to the Supreme Lord to appear as Lord Chaitanya to deliver these illusioned souls. Actually, Lord Chaitanya appeared on the request of Lord Advaita. Similarly, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya, Rudra sampradaya. He is always thinking about the deliverance of fallen souls as exhibited by Advaita Prabhu. So, Lord Shiva and Advaita Acharya had the same mood, same personality. They want to deliver the conditioned souls. Now the question is why Advaita is the supreme, is Lord Shiva, is Mahavishnu also they say. Why he himself is not delivering? Why he want the Lord to come? So we discussed this previously also. Because they are in the mood of Paramatma. Paramatma means they are to be neutral. So they cannot interfere in the free will of living entities. So that's the reason Advaita Acharya says to Lord that, my dear Lord, you appear as a devotee. Because if you appear as a Lord, you will not be able to do much. Like Lord Ram came, he did not do much preaching. He just lived the rightful life and he went. And then who did for the so when he's telling the Lord that you come as a devotee, because if you come, Krishna came, he also spoke Bhagavad Gita, he went. He did not do much preaching. That's why he's telling you come as a devotee so that you can do preaching. You can interfere in the free will of devotee is done by devotees. Devotees, they interfere in the free will of living entities and forcefully make them devotees. Lord will not do it. Any of the incarnations come, they don't do forceful preaching. But anybody comes to them attracting their pastimes, they deliver them. And that is the reason Advaita Acharya says, no, no, don't come as any other incarnation. You come as a devotee. Like that. So this is a difference. And he says, Lord Shiva's lotus feet are worshipped by both demigods and demons. So this is also a very important point that, but still, in spite of his exalted position, as soon as he saw that Lord Brahma was there among all the other demigods, he immediately stood up and offered him respects by bowing down and touching his lotus feet. just as Vamandev offered his respectful obeisances to Kashyap Muni. So even though Shiva is superior, but still as an etiquette, he offered obeisances to Brahmaji. And Prabhupada's writing, Kashyap Muni was in the category of living entities, but he had a transcendental son, Vamandev, who was an incarnation of Vishnu. Thus, although Lord Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, he offered his respects to Kashyap Muni. Similarly, when Krishna was a child, he offered obeisances to Mother Yashoda and Maharaj. And then Krishna tells Lord Krishna touched feet of Yudhishthir Maharaj also because he is elder. So it appears that personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva and other devotees, in spite of being situated in exalted position, instructed by practical example how to offer obeisances to their superiors. So even though they may not be spiritually advanced, but because they are superior by age, that's why it should be respected. Lord Shiva offered respectful obeisances to Brahma because Brahma was his father, just as Kashyap Muni was. So very nicely analogy is given immediately so that the people don't get confused. If Shiva is offering obeisances to Brahma, then Brahma is superior to Shiva. Now people have this argument. Are in Rameshwaram, Lord Ram worshipped Shiva. That's why Shiva is superior. Okay, if that is the logic, then here Shiva is offering obeisances to Brahma. Then you tell who is superior? Brahma becomes superior. And Brahma offers obeisances to Krishna. Then who is superior? Krishna is superior. So then it does not make sense. Everybody is offering obeisances to each other. Vishnu is offering obeisances to Shiva. Shiva is offering to Brahma. Brahma is offering to Shiva and Vishnu also. So how is it? So here we should go according to the Siddhanta properly. Who is superior and why he is offering obeisances? What is the purpose behind it? So that should be clearly understood. And all the sages who are sitting with Lord Shiva, such as Narada and also offered their respectful obeisances to Lord Brahma. After being so worshipped, Lord Brahma smilingly began to speak to Lord Shiva. And Prabhupada writes, Lord Brahma was smiling because he knew Lord Shiva is not only easily satisfied but easily irritated as well. He was afraid that Lord Shiva may be in angry mood because he lost his wife and he had been insulted by Daksha. In order to conceal his fear, he smiled and addressed Shiva as follows. So Brahma is afraid. Sometimes you are afraid, you try to fake a smile so that you want to cool down the situation. So now Brahma is started his prayers. Brahma Uvacha Jane Tvam Isham Vishwasya Jagato Yoni Bijayo Shakteti Sivasya Cha Param Yattad Brahma Nivartitam. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord Shiva, I know that you are the control of the entire material manifestation, the combination father and mother in the cosmic manifestation, and the supreme Brahman beyond the cosmic manifestation as well. I know you in that way. So he is basically telling that you are Sarva Karana Karana. Of course, the combination mother and father of cosmic manifestation, that is correct. Because that is not done by Vishnu, that is done by Shambhu, Shiva only. He don't interfere in this material world directly. It is done by Shiva. He Lord only comes to perform his pastimes. When he is there as Paramatma, Kshiradakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu. There also he is only Upadrashta Anumanta. He oversees and sanctions. But you don't directly deal with material nature. Direct dealing with material nature is done by Lord Shiva only. And this is a very important point because, and you see this pastime of Advaita Acharya, what happened is very small boy. He went to one temple along with his father. There very famous temple and where Mother Durga is worshipped. And then everybody comes and offer obeisances. Advaita Acharya does not offer obeisances. The king complains to his father. What is your son? He is not even offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord. So Advaita Acharya says, no, it will be very inauspicious if I offer obeisances. And then they say, no, no, you should offer obeisances. You should. The Acharya says, no, it is inauspicious. And he said, okay. Then what does he offer obeisances to the deity of Durga Devi? Immediately the deity blasts. It feels very embarrassed. Are he is my lord. How can he offer obeisances to me? And then she leaves that place. Everybody was surprised. How did this deity broke? So the point is, he is actually for the father of this cosmic manifestation. He is directly dealing with Durga Devi, and Durga Devi is mother. So for the soul, the mother and father are Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana. But for the body, mother and father is Mother Durga and Lord Shiva. So that's how we should understand. So here it is very clearly said that I know that you are the controller of entire cosmic manifestation, the combination father and mother of cosmic manifestation, the supreme Brahman beyond the cosmic manifestation as well. I know you in that way. So here it is very clear said. So now, uh, so Prabhupada is writing very clearly here. Although Lord Brahma has received very respectful obeisances from Lord Shiva, he knew that Lord Shiva was in more exalted position than himself. Lord Shiva's position is described in Brahma Samhita. There is no difference between Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva in their original position. But still, Lord Shiva is different from Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. The example is given, the milk in the yogurt is not different from the original milk from which it is made. So this is a very clear indication. त्वमेव भगवन् एतत् चैव शक्तो स्वरूपयो विश्वं सृजसि स्पाशस्ति क्रीडन् ऊर्णपतो यथा. My dear Lord, you create this cosmic manifestation, maintain it and annihilate it by expansion of your personality, exactly as a spider creates, maintains, and winds up its web. And now here Prabhupada is writing, in this verse, the word Shiva Shakti is significant. Shiva means auspicious, Shakti means energy. There are many types of energy, Supreme Lord. All of them are auspicious. Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara are called Gunavataras or incarnations of material qualities in the material world. We compare these different incarnations from different angles of vision. But since all of them are expansions of the supreme auspicious, all of them are auspicious. Although sometimes we consider one quality of nature to be higher or lower than another, the mode of ignorance or tamoguna is considered very much lower than the others, but in the higher sense, it is also auspicious. You see, the mode of ignorance or tamoguna is considered very much lower than others, but in a higher sense, it is also auspicious. Prabhupada gives the example may given herein that the government has both educational department and criminal department. An outsider may consider criminal department inauspicious, but from the government's point of view, it is important as the education department. Therefore, the government finances both departments equally without discrimination. So, tamoguna from a higher sense, it is also good, it is needed. Even for us also, we need so much tamoguna. If we want to sleep at night, we cannot sleep if we are not having tamoguna. If I want to if there is destruction that is needed, that is because of tamoguna. So there are many things that are important if I am in tamoguna. We need tamoguna. Okay. Any questions, comments? Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. You can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question regarding the Shakti Tattva. Most people have this question that in Devi Bhagavatam, there is a lot of explanation that everything is emanating from Durga Devi only. That is one thing. And even from Shiva Shakti, like people have this understanding, not from the Bhagavatam, but from the Shiva Purana. So, how do we reconcile and explain this fact that Krishna is a supreme Lord? Of course, we can state from the Srimad Bhagavatam, but how do you generally do it, Prabhu?
Shakti means energy. If there should be source of energy, so they don't understand it. So what happens is this is actually the problem. What happened in paganism, in India especially, this thing came. So generally we should worship the Lord's energy along with the Lord. But what happened in India is they started worshipping the energy only. That's why we have all these so many demigods, gods, and Shaktis are all. This is a one type of deviation from the standard. Now people have considered Shakti as a supreme because you are getting everything from that. That is actually wrong. So this especially happened in India only, Indian subcontinent. We can say that people stopped connecting the energy with the energetic. So they should know if you are telling Shakti, who's Shakti? We agree that Srishti Sthiti Pralayana Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Viparti Durga. Ichhanurupa. So that Ichhanurupa, Chayeva Yasya, that they don't understand. But we also agree Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Shakti only. And all the energies, when Dasara comes, all the energies, whichever we are seeing around, it's all Durga Devi only. We agree. But she is under the control of Lord Shiva. She is the sister of Lord Vishnu. So that is forgotten. So when this Abrahamic religions came, what they did is they separated Shakti from the Supreme Lord and started saying there is only one Lord. We need not worship anything, no energies. So they don't worship any energies. So Abrahamic religion, that then what happens? You become very cruel. So that's why you see these Abrahamic religions, no? They have this. If you don't follow, then you have to kill the other person because they don't worship the energy. In India, everybody can be God. Every Sai Baba can also be God because you worship all the energies of the Lord. You forgetting the Supreme Lord only. There they say only Supreme Lord. No, Supreme Lord with his energies. That's how we worship Lakshmi Narayana and we worship Radha and Krishna. That is together we should be worshipped. So this understanding of only energy is actually wrong understanding. Only Durga worship is wrong.
No,
Only
but Prabhuji, in the Purana, Durga Purana, it is mentioned that she is the supreme and everyone is emanating from her, including Lord Vishnu and Shiva. I was talking about that point. So, why is it stated like that in the Purana, Prabhuji, in that case?
this Devi Bhagavatam is not authorized Purana. It's not authorized. It does not come under Upapuranas also. Maybe what happens now, some say, so it may come in Upapuranas also, but they add up some more things which may not be in the original Vyasas Puranas. That is also another problem. And in Bengal and Orissa, they have this understanding. Even Prabhupada writes also this in Krishna book. From Durga only, Parvati, Lakshmi, and Saraswati comes. So they have original. Only this understanding is only two states, Orissa and Bengal, not all places. They say original is Durga, and from her only all the other three Shaktis come, Parvati,
Yeah.
Lakshmi.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and Prabhupada also right, but it is not there in other parts, and that is not there in any Purana like that. But their understanding, especially Bengal and Orissa.
But normally they quote also, no, Prabhuji. See, in this Purana, it is mentioned in this shloka. Like this, they mention also. So that is a problem. Maybe, as you said, they are not authentic or
Authentic, yeah, you can because if you know Sanskrit, you can also compose a shloka.
yeah, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Anyway, thank you all very much. Turantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri